What's good, folkers? Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. This is Snapzilla Gorilla. Welcome to the Definition of Anarchy. Today, what I want to get into right now is some news coming out of North Carolina about 3 police officers having some choice words about black folks, okay? Apparently, they some racist. And apparently, they want to wipe black people off the map. They want to kneel down on some Negroes. They want to wipe us out. They want to kill us. Now, let me ask y'all something. Do you think that this type of mentality from these police officers, do you think it's just those 3? Or do you think that there is a culture of this type of thinking and behavior from police officers in places like this? Now, if you don't know about the whole San Francisco situation where there was some text messages going out from police officers that were racially, hot, calling people N-words, talking about they want to kill some niggas and all this other shit. That happened in San Francisco, all right? You talking about San Francisco where, where the leftists are, right? Supreme left. You have the supreme leftist San Francisco with police officers targeting black people. Now you got North Carolina police officers targeting black people, talking about they want to kill them. And, I'm not surprised by this, okay? It's all over the news. Y'all can check it for yourself. Matter of fact, I'll put some links in the description so you guys can see the story. I'm not surprised by this. But the reason this is important is because it's going to show you whether or not these black conservatives are full of shit or not. Now, I'm going to tell you if they get a hold of this story and they touch on it and they do a video on it or they cover it, it's not going to matter to them that they were racist. They're going to say, oh, this is an isolated incident. It was only 3 police officers. Blah, 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 blah. No, it was only 3 police officers that got caught. Only 3 police officers that got caught. You see, they try to make black folks look like idiots for thinking that racism is still well and alive within the system. And they don't consider it systematic racism until there's actual laws that blatantly point out that it's racist. No, it doesn't have to be laws written. It could be a silent or a silent thing, right? It doesn't have to be so overt. They don't have to create laws of racism for there to be systematic racism. Systematic racism can exist without that, without it being written down. It's just how the culture is. It's how the culture. It's a culture, right? Everything does not need to be written down for a culture to be what it is. If there's a culture of racism within a police department, odds are it's going to be spread throughout the police department. Some guys are going to turn a blind eye. Some black people within that department might keep their mouth shut because they want to keep a paycheck coming in. It's not going to be written down as a law. So anybody that tells you that it's only systematic racism if there's a law that makes it so, either they think you stupid or they stupid. Point blank in the period. So here we have 3 police officers who feel comfortable enough to have conversations amongst each other about wiping black people off the map, about kneeling on black people's necks and whatnot. This is what we're dealing with. Understand that. And this is, if the police actually answered to the people, that shit like this would not occur. Their ass would be out. They would have been weeded out by the people if this were to occur. Other so-called good police officers would feel comfortable coming out against bad police officers if they answer to the people. This is why reform needs to occur. This is why defunding needs to occur. But you gotta do it smart. Like I said, I've already talked about that. I talked about how you can do it smartly. So I'm not gonna get into that again. But then you have these people that point out how disaster it would be without the police. But Chicago just had its deadliest weekend, right? This past weekend is deadliest weekend. Yet the police still exist. The police still exist in Chicago. Last time I checked, they didn't dismantle the police in Chicago. Right? Crime is on the rise in New York, with the police still in action. Yeah, people are calling in sick, this, that, and the third. But we have to understand that unless we take the reins of our own power back and to do what we can to protect ourselves, to protect our families, defend our communities, without relying on police who don't answer to you, yeah, it's going to be a problem. If you're not willing to stand up to the mob, if you're not willing to stand up to the criminals in your neighborhood that are doing bad shit and destroying your neighborhood, the police aren't going to do that much more for you, right? Because of they're not there to protect you. They're there to arrest criminals, collect extortion fees. Okay, that's why they're there. They're there, and every now and then, like I said, they might prevent a crime, right? Or they might delay a crime, whatever. But they're not there to literally protect every single individual within the community. And you see what we got going on now in North Carolina with these police officers wanting to kill some niggers. But, you know, of course, these fake ass black conservatives are going to make it seem like it's not a big deal, right? Oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, they were arrested. Oh, they got this, the justice was sought. Instead of looking at the bigger problem of the culture and the system that protects these type of police officers, if there's not some irrefutable evidence such as video. If they were told by a fellow police officer, let's say this happened, there was conversation among 4 police officers, right? They were talking about killing niggers and all this other shit. And then one of the officers was like, no, I don't like this conversation. So he goes to his superior and then presents him with this, telling him, like, look, this is what these guys were saying. This is what I heard. This is what they said. Without any video or audio, they're going to sweep that under the rug. And then that officer is going to have a hard time for the rest of his career, if he still has one. No, the only time they give a shit about when the police officers do bad shit is when they're caught. And that's only half the time. They only give a shit half the time if they're caught on video or on audio, if it's blatant. Half the time they get off with paid administrative leave. And then they get back to do desk duty for a few months. Everybody forgets what happened. And then now they back on the street with a badge and a gun. This is the overall problem. When there's no accountability, when you allow police officers to do whatever the hell they want with impunity, this is what happens. Brandon Tatum did a video titled, "There is no black people in America not oppressed." I can't tell. Now I wouldn't say black people in America are oppressed. I would say people in America are oppressed. And then you point out why, and then you show them the evidence. Then you show them this, you show them that, and then everybody can be on board, and everybody can see the oppression, and everybody can work together to fight against oppression and get freedom. I get it. Saying that black people alone are oppressed, yeah, that's not going to help your cause, because half the people are not going to pay attention after that. They're going to resist that. But if you point out that everyone is oppressed by the system, by the police, by the elites, and then you point out how, and then you don't make it about race, then blah, 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 whatever. But in this case, well, my friend, is obviously about race. We can't deny it. We can't hide it. So what do? We address it as it is. And then we go to these black conservatives. And you know what? It's mostly the black conservatives that are in denial of reality. They will hold steadfast to the illusion that there is no racism in this country. Every black person has equal opportunity. They can do whatever. No. They're the only ones in denial of that fact. That should tell you something. That they go the extra mile to appease their white audience. Should tell you how authentic they are, right? Oh, very authentic. Extremely authentic. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. What do y'all think about these 3 racist cops? Is it not a big deal? Or is it a big deal? Is it a big deal because they're given a badge and a gun and told to go out on the streets and interact with human beings that they want to wipe off the map? Or do you think it's not a big deal that they were just shooting the shit, blowing smoke up their ass? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. I'm getting tired of these black ass conservatives making black people look bad. Huh? How about that? Making black people look bad. Making black people look bad. You know, I feel the need when I'm around black people. I feel the need to let them know. Oh man, I ain't like them them black conservatives over there, man. Ooh, don't let me in with them. Don't let me in with them. I don't think like that. You understand what I'm saying? Since they want to go to their white friends and say, oh, I ain't like them Negroes over there in the hood, gang banging and wang slanging and do the blah, 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 blah. Why not just be who you are and allow them to make a decision on what type of person you are based on who you are without giving them disclaimers about how you're not like a gang banging Negro? What? Think of the mentality. Think about the mentality that, what is that? Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Am I off base? Holla at your boy. Let me know. Peace.